Hello, I'm Sapna Pieroux, brand consultant, designer, author of Let's Get Visible, and speaker. And today I'm an interviewer too. I'm delighted to introduce to you today a very old friend of mine. She's not very old, she's younger than me, but she's Ziara Siddique. She's an entrepreneur herself. She's owner and founder of Elite Profile Agency. And this is Manchester Awards, which celebrates all that is great about the city in sport, music, entertainment, culture, and community. Thank you so much for being with us today, Ziara.
Thank you for having me. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. It's been a while. So I've got a few questions, and we're just going to sort of talk, as I said a little bit earlier when we were chatting before the cameras were rolling. This is something that we've done over the last couple of years, and this year we're doing it on video. It's all about inspiring other women out there, other women entrepreneurs. So I just wanted to, I mean, your story is amazing. Tell us a bit about yourself and what led you to where you are now.
Gosh, I've just had this conversation with somebody else. What's that? These like elevator pitch, isn't it? Well, obviously my background, how you and I met, is media, isn't it? Got many years ago. I think we're going back nearly 30 years, aren't we, Sapna? Yeah. Worked in media for a very, very, very long time. And again, a lot of similarities to you and I. When you have a young family, one has to reinvent oneself. And we have to work hard, don't we? And at juggling and reinventing ourselves. So I set up Elite Profile Agency with my business partner, Faz. It's a hybrid of a business he already has in 2013 while I was pregnant with Anissa. Yeah, my second child. Yeah. And we do a lot of work within the music and entertainment industry and within sports, just to kind of give you an understanding of what it stands for. And it was a lot of business plans, a lot of groundwork before we set it up to understand legitimacy of it. Has it got legs? Why we should be doing it? And what makes us differentiate us from others within the marketplace, because there is a lot of you always get competitors within entertainment, hospitality. It's quite a cutthroat industry. But what set us apart is we've got something very brilliant and very special. We work in the heartbeat of the music industry and the entertainment world, and thanks to my better half, who has been part of SGM and Live Nation for nearly 40 years. And I guess my background, like similar to yourself within media, and I just said it to somebody else, your net worth is your net worth, isn't it? And you continue to repurpose that, don't you, as you evolve as an individual, and having something up there as well, you kind of you have worked and moved forward with that. So an EPA was born out of a desire to work within that space. There was no one else doing it here within the region, and so we kind of occupy that space, and it's nice because and I say it with a warm heart feeling, because it is my baby and it's my passion. If you look at the website, all the peonies and everything about it,
it's a lifestyle agency, isn't it? You sort of help people.
Really cool, isn't it? And you know what I'm like, Sapna, you've known me too long. The OC
branding for you.
Well, actually, can I just say, Sapna created the brand for us, and it got so many compliments, and you created it all those years ago for us. And even when I refresh and rebrand, it's kind of like, don't touch the logo, don't touch that brand design. You got it right first time, remember? It was so brilliant. So yeah, it's and then that's how Elite was born, like say 2012, 2013, to work within the field of entertainment and sport. So we look after music industry people, artists who are performing, who come into the UK or are traveling, and then we look after busy distinguished people who are time poor, I guess. So anything without the sort of professional habitat, that's where we step in and take over. And because of my background within the industry, within media, and I know editors and I know journalists and all the rest of it, we do it with discretion and with respect. Because, and I always say this, everyone's entitled to a private life, aren't they? Yeah. And we're not about the jazz hands. That's not what we stand for as a brand either.
It's that helps people.
Correct.
high net worth with their social life, with their restaurant bookings and
anything legal. I say legal.
Legal. That's always reassuring. And what about This Is Manchester Awards? What led you to setting that up?
So that was honestly a blue sky moment, right? So I was reading a book. The only time I get to read is when I go away. And a bit like you yourself, I carry about 5 or 6 books with me because don't you find books is a luxury item?
It is.
I do.
Yeah.
It really is a luxury item, isn't it? When you've got work and a family. And honestly, I get to the airport, Sapna, and I don't know if you do this. You just get there, you're thinking, oh my God, I need a book. And I get like hyperventilating. I need some good books to read. And I have to make sure I have a minimum of 5 books. When we get away and it's Randy's going, oh my God, you really are on holiday, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm reading. It's the only time I get to read. And we was away in Randy's adopted homeland, Barbados. And it was, and obviously if you look at Manchester, its DNA is very much kind of enshrined in the music industry, all the great art that come out of Manchester, it's phenomenal, isn't it? And it's a hybrid of elite, so I just said earlier, and it was literally Manchester deserves its own answer to the Brit Awards, and so I thought, how does that look? What does that, what does it look like? What's that DNA?
A lot of the awards services, a lot of the awards were very London centric, weren't they, and based in the south, and so Manchester needed to celebrate its own kind of heritage, really.
Yeah, and it's culture and it's DNA. We're first in music, first in sport. Some may disagree, and that's allowed. Everyone's passionate about football, aren't they? And fashion. There's so many brands which are born out of Manchester. You look at the PLT, Pretty Little Things, are phenomenal as a brand, a global brand. The Boohoo, Misguided, Miss Empire. I saw it first. There's the talent, There's
so much creativity.
Correct. Yeah.
Just so the readers know, listeners know, I used to live up there as well. At the same, we were both living up in that city at the same time, weren't we? I mean, you're still living and working around there, but it's a fantastic city, full of creativity.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was literally was like Manchester's own. I felt was own answer to the Brit Awards, and again because we have a strong network within those industries, music and particularly sport. So how does that look? And then I was asked, it was suggested to me, I went to the BBC editor in the north, and she asked me to ground it. So I had some community to it to she said it's quite ambitious project and very brave to do it. And so we ensured that culture and community element is also intertwined within that, because it's such a big part of Manchester. When things go wrong, that northern grit and northern spirit, and we say it's cliched and contrived as it sounds, it comes out all the time. It really does.
Oh, I'm feeling quite emotional actually, because I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what that Manchester spirit's like. I'm going to start sounding more man because I'm talking to you today. I know.
Well, I don't, so don't blame me. Well, I like to think anyway. So yeah, it's all about that Mancunian spirit, and through resilience and grit, the northern way, we get on and we do things, and and obviously the city has been through a lot of hardship and a lot of hard times, haven't they? And through various situations. So, but the one thing what's really good is it's about the people. It's always about
them.
Yeah, and so we did our first one in 2018, and it just went. It's gone a dream. I don't know why you've not done the brand on that, actually, Sapna. What happened? I don't know what happened.
Never mind. So what do you love running? I mean, it's clear you're really, really passionate about the businesses that you run. What do you love in particular about running your own business?
Oh gosh, time, isn't it? You manage your own time, and you're able to, and again, synergies between you and I and all those working mums out there is you can manage your time. We don't have a network or someone to fall back on. And I've got 2 young children, like I said, a 13-year-old who's just about in the process going to be starting his GCSEs in September, and then I have a younger daughter, Anissa, who's 7. So it's really important for me. That's my biggest job, isn't it? A mum, and to ensure that they are healthy and nurtured and natured and all that goes with that. That's the most important thing. And so, you know, I said to a friend just before Christmas, Haxie's got his GCSEs coming up, and once we're 2 years, he's got 2.5 years, I think 3 years left, because he'll sit his GCSEs 2023. I said, and then it's tick, first box done, you know, my job here is done. And she went, no, it's not, you still got the A levels to do, and then everything.
What's never done with a mum? No, but we're focusing. So time is the thing that's great about running your own business. Your job's never done as a mum. I mean, you can close your laptop, but you're still a mum, aren't you?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So so it's kind of managing my time effectively between you know, work and family life. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Yeah, and it allowed me to do that.
Fantastic. I want to just ask a little bit about, so the theme for International Women's Day this year is Choose to Challenge, which is all about gender equality, obviously, International Women's Day. So what are the biggest challenges you've had to overcome in your career?
Oh, my goodness me. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say here on a podcast, am I?
Well, be honest without swearing.
Well, I think well, I have faced a lot of challenges. I'm not sure this is appropriate platform to talk about them, if I'm honest. You know, without being so obvious, you know. But you know, as a woman of ethnic origin, you do, and irrespective of what anyone says to you, and I feel quite strongly about that. And I will push back on anyone who does, you know, challenge that. Is you do have to work twice as hard to be heard. And you know, I'm not like one of those who wants to be seen anyway, so I'm quite happy to take the back seat on that one. And to be honest with you, Sapna, I like the works. I like to think speaks for its volumes for itself.
Yes.
Because that's what it's about, isn't it? It's the work and the work ethic, and that's kind of, again, part of our DNA, if you can say that. Yeah. But nevertheless, you still have to work twice as hard, because it's been part of, you know, it's ingrained within you. It's kind of innate, isn't it?
I think women have to work harder anyway to be seen, recognised in the same spheres. And, you know, it is changing, but it's still a long way to go. And certainly, well, Black Lives Matters last year proved that, you know, the ethnic communities are still in this position of not feeling equal at the moment as well. So thanks for sharing a little bit about that. Just moving on. So what is your, at the moment, as we're doing this interview, it's going out around International Women's Day, which is in March, but what is your typical day or week like? At the moment we're in lockdown, so.
Well, it's been a tough few months, as I said, because my other half has unfortunately contracted COVID quite seriously. So I'm predominantly I'm with the children 24 hours a day, obviously. Yeah. So, and unfortunately, due to the pandemic, our industry the worst impacted. Yeah. Yes. So we're the first to close, and we'll probably be the last to open. However, nevertheless, what I have done during that time is look at the business and see how we reevaluate things and recalibrate, because I think you need to think about like agile working, haven't you? And it's that word is said so, bandied around so many times. Yeah. So I've whilst we can't go out, we can't officially engage with people, there's no entertainment, there's no hospitality, and we're not allowed to bring team back. I have continued to do This Is Manchester on the social platform, and actually the response has been, it's blew up. It's been even bigger. Yeah. So again, it just reinforces that passion about the Manchester spirit. So I've worked on that diligently to ensure that brand is front of mind. You'd be dead proud of me, actually, Sapna, keeping the brand visible.
Absolutely. I've been liking the posts whenever I see them. You've been doing some work with Marcus Rashford as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we honoured him. I mean, God, what a phenomenal human, isn't he? Yeah, I mean, so This Is Manchester Awards are founder patrons of Hideout Youth Zone, which is part of the on-side youth zone. So think of a David Lloyd, times it by 10. It's got everything except a swimming pool. It's a no-brainer. Wish we had them when we were kids. And the chairman is John Roberts, who's the CEO of AO World. And that was brought to my attention about late 2018 after I'd done team of the first one. So we're founder patrons of that. So the objective and the mission is giving young people somewhere to go, something to do, and someone to talk to.
Wow, amazing.
So we support them, and commercially and in other ways. Like just before Christmas, we arranged with support from a fashion brand, e-commerce brand, is providing food for 120 children.
Wow.
And the Christmas dinner. It was so nice. Oh, it was so nice. It was nice. And then we've provided them with support during the school half terms with February and Easter and Christmas as well. So that's a big part of this is Manchester. It's all about that community and culture. So what I've done is, in answer to your question, is we've made sure that This Is Manchester brand is still remains front of mind for when things do come back, and they will come back because they have to, don't they? And there's a real appetite to, you know what Manchester like? They like to party, don't they, Sapna?
Oh, we love a party. So yeah, I can't wait to go out and party again. I'm definitely coming up for the next This Is Manchester Awards. Definitely coming up.
Yeah, as and when we're allowed to bring it back, and when that science and government allows live events to return, how that looks. But and then I've used the time to repurpose the brand, which I'm not ready to talk about yet, but there will be.
You know,
So I've just been working in the background to. I'll talk to you about it offline.
and obviously you've been doing homeschooling as well, so balancing, still keeping the business ticking over with homeschooling.
Yeah, first round of homeschooling was quite hard. I mean, my older one, I don't know what it's like. He's been doing Microsoft Teams, so I didn't see him all day, so so he just gets on with it. With my little one, unfortunately, we both had really crazy anxiety. It was so I'd go out running in the morning about 6 o'clock because that's my other passion. Is I run a lot. Yes. Mental health really important, particularly during these times. Yeah, and then I sit down with Anissa to do homeschooling. So that's hard. And hats off to every single person, mother, parent, who are juggling homeschooling and working and everything else during these times, and families and, vulnerable parents. And it's
hats off to the teachers that do this every single day, leaving us to run our businesses, and it's real time for appreciating, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the toughest part. That's really that the first lockdown was lots of things. I mean, all I kept is, do you not see everyone's posts about homeschooling and blah blah blah? Yeah. So that's been quite tough and challenging. So but she's getting better with it. So we just kind of crack on with it. You have to, don't you? Yeah. I want to make sure they get, they're still learning. It's important they're still learning.
So you've told us a bit about what you're doing and how you're balancing your business and career, and also about what This Is Manchester is actually achieving, and that you're founder, patrons of this sort of charity aspect, this community aspect. I just find everything you're doing, Zara, immensely inspirational. Who inspires you? Who inspires you?
Oh, do you know what? We were talking about this question with my boy last night, and it's really hard to answer, Sapna, because you don't want to go for the typical cliche and contrived responses. And I guess, you know what? If you do look at what we're going through right now, I think the real inspirations right now are, people like yourself and other parents who are juggling. That's what real life is about, isn't it? Where and you see it on whether, and particularly because we live in the world of social media, don't we? And everything's accessible, isn't it? You see people try, juggle home, work and schooling. Well, actually, that's hard. That's tough. I think that's as tough as it gets, isn't it? And then if you add to that, elderly parents and vulnerability, and having to ensure that they are, adequately taken care of
as well, aren't you? Yeah.
Well, sadly, I'm not permitted to go and see mother because school. But we have our elderly mother is in final stage dementia, and that's been challenging in itself. But my sisters are the support bubble. So there's, I'm not part of that 5 a.m. club, Sapna. That's not me. Me neither. What is that all about? This is real life, mate. We've got kids and school, and businesses to run, and so I'm not really, I don't quite get that, but I'm all for a 6:30 club because I get up before sunrise and I come out like a bullet to get in my running before I kind of sit down and tackle the day. So yeah, sorry, it's quite challenging to answer that question, to give, you know.
You've answered it. Other women are inspirational at the moment. Just anybody, any parent that is doing this juggle is incredibly inspirational. We'll all keep plugging at it, but
and this, where I don't want that from it going out, but all respect due to everybody who is really working their bollocks off. Sorry, bleep me. And and I know, look, I empathise with everybody.
Yeah. Well, we're all living it. So sometimes, I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes I just feel like at the moment I just can't get myself out of bed. I'm just so exhausted, and you know what's ahead of the day. How do you motivate yourself? I mean, I'm imagining that running is one of those things that
it's always been running.
Yeah.
I've been running since 2006. I don't know what I'm running away from. Last year I said I was running away from homeschooling.
It'll come back. It comes back to bite you on the bum when you come home. That's the thing. There's no running away from homeschooling.
Yeah, I think it's psychological. Again, it's innate. Like you brush your teeth. For me, it's like running. When I turned 40, 50 this year, so I'm not far behind you, by the way.
You look like when we
We've got good DNA, haven't we? It's the G's, love, isn't it? It's all natural. No, so it's just like that innate quality, like getting up and brushing your teeth. I put on my running leggings and run out the door. So it's just wired. I'm just wired that way. So it's
that could be. I realised in the last lockdown I started running more because I couldn't go to the gym, and I do go to the gym. And then I realised that I actually really hate running. I won a half marathon. I did a half marathon a few years ago. I did that apparently. But actually, it dawned on me in the last lockdown that why am I doing this? Because I actually really, really hate running. So I wish I did, but yeah, we've ended up getting a Peloton. So that's kind of right. Exercise. So we are doing the exercise, but yeah, you've got a great area to go running in as well. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's quiet, it's rural, so you just get out. But unfortunately, everybody's walking or running. Everyone's taking up running, you know.
Apart from me, I'm not conjuring up the streets. So time is a real kind of factor for all of us right now. Have you got any tips or productivity hacks or amazing apps that you use that help save you time?
No, it's all in my head.
You just pack it all in. That's amazing.
I know.
Always done. I mean, like, literally.
Yeah, you just get on with it. I used to have a to-do list and tick off the to-do list on the notes, but now it's psychological. I keep saying that, don't I? I sound like a sort of I'm on like a parrot, but it really is. But it is, though, isn't it? Because you do it, don't you? It's part and parcel of your.
Yeah. I was reading about it. Somebody was saying you should have a don't do list, right, rather than a to do list.
I think I've heard about that. Yeah,
it's not important, and the stuff that you can't control, and just focus. Yeah, and actually take things off your to do list. That's what I'm working on at the moment. It's just I just have to work on what's essential and what will get me through that day at the moment. Because with the kids as well, it's just really hard to. All this future planning stuff that I had for 2021 is taking a little bit of
great ideas. They'll still come back, won't they? They'll come back.
They will. I'm sort of working on a couple of things at the moment, but it will take longer. The kids come first, as you say. So again, when people look at you, Zara, they must think, I look at you and I think of you as a very successful woman. You work very hard. You have success. We've had a tough couple of years, but you will bounce back. How do you define success? And what success are you most proud of?
Gosh, well, what I'm going to say, as a working mother, my biggest success are my children. So that's the first thing and seeing them accomplished. I think you and I have had this conversation before when we met last, actually, when we was down in London some time ago. Pardon me?
In a restaurant.
In a restaurant, a dim and distant memory. So I guess from that perspective, that's that, you know, from that's the biggest achievement, ensuring that they're and then business follows, doesn't it? Business follows, and business doesn't necessarily, and I've had this just conversation with somebody else, doesn't have to necessarily be about the monetary side, is it? It's not always about the monetary aspect. Yeah, and it's about the impact. So I think the success we've created with Tima and Elite, which is, you know, like I said, a hybrid of elite profile agency, and supporting young people, and, you know, and they are the next generation talent, and that to me is really important. I get quite passionate and I get quite emotional when you hear about young people and all that stuff. What Rashford's doing is, forgive me if it sounds cliche and contrived, but it's a no-brainer, isn't it? How can you vote against something which is so vital?
Yeah, feeding children. Yeah.
Children. Yeah. So it's about creating a long-term legacy. It's not about a short-term fix, and that's what success is to me would look like.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you. So we're going to be wrapping up soon, but I just want to ask you the final question, which is, what's the best advice that you would give for your 25-year-old self when we met all those years ago? What's the best advice looking back now? You've got all this wisdom and experience.
Just do it. Honestly, it's just really, it really is. Just do it. I had this conversation earlier. I won't use sweary words, but it's you know what? If you've got, just get stuff done, isn't it? That's what it's about. If you have whatever your ambition is, whatever your desire is, whether it's personal, professional, whatever, it's about and be authentic. Always be your authentic self. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. So I've just got a bit of a fun round now, just a quick fire round. And I'm just going to give you a few questions just so people can find out a little bit more
about stuff.
So what's your favourite colour?
Purple.
Purple? I never knew that.
Yeah. I was here now. She'd be jumping in this one.
Right. Favourite item of clothing?
Oh, leggings. The living on.
Down leggings.
Down leggings, yeah.
They've definitely climbed the clothing charts, haven't they?
What else is going out?
What would be your top destination after lockdown?
Oh, what an interesting question, because I turned 50 this year. We're not allowed to go out anywhere, are we? Do you know what? I always wanted to go to Hawaii for my 50th.
Oh,
Don't
wow.
ask me why. Don't ask me why. I honestly, I don't know why.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'd still love to go. Not travelled enough, so I'd love the opportunity. I'd love that.
Okay, but, Hawaii, that would be a great top destination.
That would be a good destination.
What's the last book you read?
I might have been, honestly, I'm not being cliched or contrived. I think it must have been the Michelle Obama book, the biography.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. She went out with somebody from Manchester, by the way. Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. Have you read it? And I just bought the just before Christmas.
I've got it. I still haven't read it. Have
you not read it?
Holidays, so I haven't had a chance to read, have I?
There you go. Yeah. I've just bought the Barack Obama book. I've not picked that one up yet. My daughter keeps reminding me, Mum, you've not started reading. Yeah. I've got time to
say it was a storybook, so you've done well anyway. What's your spirit animal?
My spirit animal? What is? Oh my goodness me! Goodness me! I don't really know.
If you were an animal.
If I was an animal, well, I'd be my star sign. Once I'd be a lion, Leo, a raw.
Yeah, actually,
you know it.
I can see that. And I'd mind a tiger. So yeah, we'd be wandering the jungle together, having cocktails. What's your favourite ice cream?
I don't like ice cream, Sapna. Right, let me tell you something. I said this, funny enough, when life was normal and went out to restaurants. I don't see the point of ordering ice cream or seeing ice cream on the menu. It should always remain on a children's menu.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
I love it. And are you an AM or PM person?
Morning. Get up.
I knew that. Yeah.
You knew it. Get stuff done, Sapna. Come on, you know it. Need to get you running.
I am a night owl.
Yeah.
So thank you very much again for spending some time with us today, Zara. I know how precious time is, especially at the moment. Just before you go, is there anything that you want to tell us that you're obviously promoting the This Is Manchester Awards? Do you want to, get people to follow you? What your Insta?
Well, this is MCR Awards is on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and we're quite visible across those platforms. And when the timing is right, Elite Profile Agency will come back when the entertainment industry does return, when everyone, all the appropriate age groups are vaccinated, and Bojo lets us all go out to a concert.
I cannot wait. So thank you so much again for your time today, and I've had really good fun chatting to you again. Lots of love. Take care.
God bless.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye.